10 Best Camera for Beginner Natural Photography 2021. If you're looking to get into photography, you need to be able to take control of what your camera is doing. The cell phone will create an acceptable picture, but it has its limitation. Fortunately, if you're looking for the best camera for beginner photographers, there's a lot of fantastic options you get to start. Number 1. Canon EOS Rebel T100. Canon Rebel T100 is Canon's latest stripped-back entry-level DSLR that sits below their T7. And the camera Canon aims as the perfect step up from a smartphone. It features an 18-megapixel CMOS sensor, the DIGIC 4+ image processor, 1080p Full HD video up to 30 fps, and wireless connectivity. It uses a 9-point AF system where the centralmost post is cross-type compatible. Battery life is average for the class at 500 shots per charge. Overall, Canon's Rebel T100 is arguably the cheapest SLR on the market to date. It's hard for budget-conscious users to complain here about the performance it offers for this price. Number 2. Nikon D3500. You don't need to be a photographer to know a great photo when you see one. And you don't need to be a photographer to take a great photo, you just need the D3500. It is as easy to use as a point and shoot, but it takes a beautiful DSLR photos and videos that get noticed. Nikon's D3500 marks the latest entry into the D3000 series, and it's a camera that Nikon aims squarely at beginners looking for an upgraded over a smartphone. Initially released in the fall of 2018, it features a 24.2-megapixel CMOS sensor and X-Speed 4 image processor, 180p Full HD video up to 6 fps. It's compact, durable, and versatile, ideal for travel, and definitely for beginners. Number 3. Pentax K70. The Pentax K70 is a camera Pentax pitches toward the outdoor photography market. Initially released in the summer of 2016, it features a 24.2-megapixel CMOS sensor without an anti-aliasing filter, 1080p Full HD video up to 60 fps, and image stabilization. It also has a 3-inch fully articulating screen, time-lapse, HDR, multi-exposures, 6 fps per shooting, a microphone input, weather sealing, and wireless connectivity. Number 4. Nikon D7500. The Nikon D7500 is the company's latest model in the semi-professional D7000 series and the budget-friendly alternative to the flagship D500. Initially released in the summer of 2017, it features a 20.9-megapixel CMOS sensor without an anti-aliasing filter, the X-Speed 5 image processor, 4K UHD video up to 30 fps, and 1080p Full HD video up to 60 fps. It also has a 3.2-inch tilting touchscreen, digital stabilization, weather sealing, headphone and microphone inputs, and wireless connectivity. Number 5. Canon EOS 77D. The Canon 77D is the unofficial successor to the incredibly popular T6s and is a camera Canon offers as an extra option in their lower mid-range lineup. Initially released in the spring of 2017, it features a 24.2-megapixel CMOS sensor, the DIGIC 7 image processor, 1080p Full HD video up to 60 fps, and it also has a 3.0-inch fully articulating touchscreen, digital stabilization, a microphone input, and a wireless connectivity. It uses a 45-point all-across type autofocusing system with Canon's re-owned dual-pixel CMOS AF for smooth and confined focusing. Number 6. Canon EOS 90D. Canon's 90D is the long-awaited replacement to the insanely popular EOS 80D and a complete overhaul in capabilities. Initially released in the fall of 2019, it features a 32.5-megapixel CMOS sensor, the DIGIC 8 image processor, 4K UHD up to 30 fps, and 1080p up to 120 fps. It also has a 3 inches fully articulating touchscreen, 10 fps burst, weather sealing, and headphone and microphone inputs. Canon's even equipped with a camera with uncropped 4K video, and Full HD 120 FPS for super slow motion. And even with its performance, the battery life is excellent at 1300 shots per charge. Number 7. Canon EOS Rebel T7i. The Canon's Rebel T7i is yet another smashing release of the Rebel lineup of the entry-level SLRs that continues the lasting tradition and principles behind the line. Initially released in the spring of 2017, it features a 24.2 megapixel CMOS sensor, the DIGIC 7 image processor, and 180p Full HD video up to 60 FPS. It also has a 3-inch fully articulating touchscreen, electronic image stabilization, HDR, time-lapse movies, a microphone input, and wireless connectivity. Number 8. Canon EOS Rebel SL3. The Canon's SL3 is their latest entry into the super lightweighted category in the Rebel lineup, and it's a camera they situate just below the T7i. Initially released in the summer of 2019, it features 24.1 megapixel CMOS, the DIGIC 8 image processor, 4K UHD video lineup to 24 FPS, and 1080p HD video up to 60 FPS. It also has a 3-inch fully touchscreen, 4K time-lapse, electronic image stabilization, a microphone input, and a wireless connectivity. Number 9. Nikon D5600. Nikon's D5600 is the advanced entry-level option and the flagship in the D5000 lineup. Compared to the D3000 series, it adds advanced features and functionality that makes it more tailored toward enthusiasts looking to hone their skills. Not so advanced, it will overwhelm beginners. It features a 24.2 megapixel CMOS sensor without an anti-aliasing filter and 1080p Full HD video up to 60 FPS. It has a 3.2 inches fully articulating touchscreen, time-lapse, a microphone input, and wireless connectivity. Number 10. Canon EOS Rebel T8i. Canon Rebel 8i is the latest release and the current flagship in the Rebel lineup and the successor to the T7i. Initially released in the spring of 2020, it features a 24.1 megapixel CMOS sensor, the DIGIC 8 image processor, 4K UHD up to 24 FPS, and 1080p Full HD up to 60 FPS. Fully articulating touchscreen, 4K time-lapse, 7 FPS bursts, a microphone input, and wireless connectivity.